Welcome back. Well, would you like a great Gatsby-esque experience right here in Connecticut?
You could plan a fairy tale wedding or a beautiful corporate retreat at one of the state's historical gems.
The Wadsworth Mansion is right in Middletown, and it's open for your next big event or as a fun place to take the family. I was recently on a tour and blown away. Take a look.
When you drive up the driveway, it's definitely very kind of almost intimidating, and that's exactly what Colonel Wadsworth wanted. So Colonel Clarence Wadsworth built this in the early 1900s for his wife, Catherine Faring Hubbard, and she was from a Middletown family, and the Hubbards owned this land. And so he built this house based upon the country estates that were in France that she visited often, and that's how she decorated it as well. So a lot of gold, a lot of vintage, Victorian, and then also from the Louis XV era. So everything that you see in the building is basically based upon Catherine's original style, and they spent summers here.
Megan Bush is the executive director here at the Wadsworth Mansion in Middletown. She tells me Colonel Wadsworth was a trust fund baby. His father made his money investing in railroads, but the younger Colonel loved green of another kind.
He was a conservationist ahead of his time. So when you drive up our driveway and you come up to the building, you'll see trees on both sides and surrounding the property. None of those trees were here when he first bought the house. He planted them all.
Colonel Wadsworth started summering here in the home he built with his wife, Catherine Faring Hubbard, in the early 1900s. They threw a wedding for one of their 3 children, and 1,000 guests came to the soiree of the summer. Today, you can recreate the grandeur for your big day. Jessica Hess is the director of events at the Wadsworth Mansion. So we are standing on the beautiful balcony of the Wadsworth Mansion. Jessica, this is quite the view for a wedding. Do brides come up here?
Oh, all the time. All the time. Our brides actually love to do their portraits up here. I see a lot of couples that do their couples pictures up here, which is really pretty.
Perhaps you visited the Newport mansions and see a similarity.
If this reminds you of Rosecliff, the Newport Mansion,
Yes.
There's a good reason for that?
Absolutely. So Wadsworth Mansion and Rosecliff share the same architect, Francis Hoppin, and he designed the back of the mansion very similar to Rosecliff.
And you can have a beautiful wedding or retreat here, but this is affordable for people?
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, we're in central Connecticut. We don't want to overprice ourselves.
The couples who love it here love it because they want to do something different and set themselves apart. So we see people that really love to embrace the outdoors, and they'll take advantage of using the terrace for cocktails and dancing, ceremonies out on our beautiful lawn. The vista, actually that center area there is probably our most popular place for ceremonies, which is really beautiful.
Things weren't always so beautiful here. After the death of Colonel Wadsworth, his wife sold the home in 1941 to a religious order of nuns for a Catholic retreat center. It changed hands a few times since then. Vandalism and fires destroyed much of the inside. The town of Middletown bought it in the early 90s and embarked on a beautiful restoration that you can see today. Perfect for a curated corporate retreat.
We have beautiful grounds here. You can get outside. It's not going to be your typical retreat. So the vendors that we've partnered with, the companies will come to us and we'll offer them various packages, and they can be as creative as they want in mixing and matching, working with the vendors that we'll be working with. So you can have headshots done. You can have a tour by a local biologist of the trails. You can make your own pasta and then eat it later with your team. It's just going to be a really fun way to get out of the office, still achieve those goals that you want within whatever retreat you're doing, whether it's leadership or team building, but also just have it in a very creative space.
Beyond weddings and corporate events, there are many family events planned for the community to enjoy. The Wadsworth Mansion has partnered with Ballet Hartford for the holidays.
They're going to be hosting the Nutcracker here in November, and they'll be doing, you know, a dance portion, but also a meet and greet with the dancers, so kids can meet the dancers and talk to them more about their journey through dance, and also an arts and crafts project.
And then come December, you have a new twist on A Christmas Carol?
Yes, so in December, we are going to host A Christmas Carol, but it's not going to be your typical walk into a theater, sit down. You're gonna walk into the mansion, and each room is going to be set up as a different act. So it's going to be really like a live experience, and you're walking through the play as it occurs. And the best part is that we'll be able to give some historical context of what the mansion was like at that time, as we're going to have everyone in costume, set design from the early 1900s, when the Colonel would have been hosting a party here.
If you're wondering if the Wadsworth Mansion is related to the Wadsworth Athenaeum, the namesakes are distant cousins, but lived in different times. You can learn more about this storied place on tours given every week with a docent.
A lot of people say, I never knew this existed. I like to call us the gem of Middletown, the hidden gem of Middletown. We'd like to not be so hidden, so hopefully more people will come and get to know us.
For more information, you can go to the wadsworthmansion.com.
They have also been having concerts on the lawn this summer and other great community events, most of which are free, like the open air market that just happened at the end of August.
There's more than 100 acres of grounds and trails that surround it, and it's open to the public daily between sunrise and sunset.